Have you ever wondered what it's like to be in the darkest depths of hell? Welcome to ADX Supermax Prison, a place so notorious that even the most hardened criminals tremble at the thought of spending even a day behind its unforgiving walls. This is not your average correctional facility. It's a living nightmare that shatters the very notion of human rights and pushes the boundaries of cruelty. In this video, we delve into the horrifying conditions and human rights violations that plague ADX Supermax, shedding light on the grim reality hidden within. Let's begin by examining the conditions that make ADX Supermax a living hell. Picture yourself confined to a small, windowless cell for 23 hours a day, with minimal human interaction and no access to sunlight or fresh air. The dimensions of these cells are so cramped that prisoners are forced to live in a space barely larger than a typical bathroom. The silence is deafening, broken only by the echoes of despair that reverberate through the concrete walls. In the state of perpetual isolation, it's no wonder that many prisoners suffer from severe psychological distress. This may include depression, anxiety, or even suicidal thoughts. But it doesn't stop there. ADX Supermax is notorious for its extreme security measures. The prison is designed to hold the most dangerous and disruptive inmates, and as such, it employs a range of measures to maintain control. Each cell is equipped with multiple layers of steel doors, electronically controlled from a central command station. The prisoners' every move is monitored through surveillance cameras, leaving them with no semblance of privacy or even dignity. Even the exercise yards are nothing more than small, barren enclosures where prisoners are let out for a few hours a week under strict supervision and surrounded by high walls that block any glimpse of the outside world. Now let's talk about the prisoners themselves. ADX Supermax houses some of the most notorious criminals in the United States, including terrorists, serial killers, and gang leaders. The prison's population consists of individuals who are deemed too dangerous or disrupted to be housed in other facilities. But what does it mean to be too dangerous? Is it an excuse to subject inmates to the most inhumane conditions? These individuals, no matter how heinous their crimes may be, still possess basic human rights that should not be disregarded. In the realm of counterterrorism, there exists a group of individuals who have waged war against America, captured in various circumstances, on the streets, at airports, and even mid-attack. They bear names both Arabic and journalistic nicknames: the Shoe Bomber, the Blind Sheik, and the American Taliban. These figures appear fleetingly and then vanish, seemingly swallowed by the earth. So where do these men go? What becomes of them once judgment is passed and they're removed from society? Colorado is home to a place specially designated for these individuals, a place reserved for jihadists, conspirators, suppliers of aid, failed suicide bombers, self-proclaimed avengers, and guerrilla leaders. It's known as H Unit, situated within the U.S. Penitentiary Administrative Maximum, or ADX, a supermax prison renowned for housing high-risk prisoners in a 22-hour-a-day lockdown. Located near the town of Florence, 100 miles southwest of Denver, ADX has earned the moniker Alcatraz of the Rockies. It's worth noting that the U.S. Bureau of Prisoners prefers the term restrictive housing over solitary confinement. A former warden once described ADX as a clean version of hell, yet recent legal cases have shed light on the prison's darker aspects. Civil rights lawyers have argued that ADX was akin to a filthy rendition of hell, a place where mentally ill inmates engaged in self-mutilation, conversed with apparitions, and endured months of isolation in cells covered in feces. These revelations prompted the U.S. Bureau of Prisons to relocate its most severely psychotic prisoners out of ADX. However, within this already grim penitentiary lies H Unit, a prison within a prison that surpasses the depths of torment. Some have likened it to a black site on American soil, but it can be more accurately described as a black hole, a void where men are gradually entombed in layers of isolation until they fade into oblivion. Each inmate housed in H Unit is subjected to Special Administrative Measures, or SAMs, a designation granted by the U.S. Attorney General to individuals considered an ongoing threat to public safety and national security. SAMs prisoners face severe restrictions, including a ban on communication with the media or anyone outside the prison walls. This restriction aims to prevent the transmission of coded messages to criminal or terrorist organizations worldwide. Their only permitted contacts are a select few government-approved family members and attorneys, who themselves are bound by strict confidentiality, facing potential prosecution if they disclose any information shared by the prisoner. Stringent control extends to mail, phone calls, media consumption, and family visits. Every communication is closely monitored, with the FBI and the Bureau of Prisons employing translators to scrutinize every letter and listen to every call, irrespective of the language used, be it English, Arabic, or Swahili. Until recent modifications, many SAMs prisoners were denied access to news broadcasts, and newspapers were provided with a 30-day delay. The government's stance, as articulated in court documents, was that media reports on current events or international conflicts can potentially fuel a terrorist inmate's extremist tendencies and incite disruptive behavior within the institution. Among the 156,000 inmates under the custody of the Bureau of Prisons, or BOP, approximately 40 to 50 individuals are believed to be subject to SAMs restrictions. The overwhelming majority of these prisoners are confined within H Unit. The first and foremost rule surrounding SAMs is a strict prohibition on discussing its details. The entire process is shrouded in secrecy, to such an extent that even the names of the inmates under SAMs are challenging to ascertain. Human rights violations are deeply embedded within the fabric of ADX Supermax. Many an inmate has reported instances of excessive use of force by correctional officers, leading to physical injuries and emotional trauma. The lack of proper medical care is another pressing concern, with prisoners suffering from untreated illnesses and chronic pain. Solitary confinement, the cornerstone of ADX Supermax's approach, has been widely condemned as a form of torture by human rights organizations. The United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture has called for a global ban on indefinite and prolonged solitary confinement, highlighting its devastating effects on mental health. In addition to the physical and psychological toll, the lack of rehabilitation programs in ADX Supermax further compounds the injustice. Instead of providing opportunities for reform and growth, the prison perpetuates a cycle of punishment and dehumanization. Without access to education, job training, or meaningful social interaction, prisoners are left to languish in their cells with little hope of ever reintegrating into society. This raises a crucial question. Should we not strive for a justice system that seeks to rehabilitate and give individuals a chance to reform, rather than simply locking them away and throwing the key? In conclusion, ADX Supermax Prison stands as a chilling reminder of the depths to which our society can sink when we abandon compassion and disregard human rights. The horrifying conditions, extreme security measures, and lack of rehabilitation programs create an environment that is nothing short of a living nightmare. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel so that you can see more material like this. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys very soon.